Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the people of the state of California. I'm your host, Elijah Dominguez. This video today is going to be in regards to the Crockett Library, as well as a court proceeding that occurred because of the Crockett Library getting a workplace violence restraining order, which was later denied. I didn't even have to show or appear for this case to be dismissed. Now, the problem is, on April 30th, you can see here's the case. It was dismissed. And then that's the second page. This is the first page. I apologize. Here's the first page of it. And then this is the second page of the order. As you can see there, I'll try to get as close as possible. As you can see there, it's been dismissed at the very bottom. It says it was dismissed after the hearing testimony from all parties. The court denies the request for the workplace violence restraining order. Him and Kerry Kipp even tried to testify against me that I had been cursing in the library. I smelled like marijuana, which in the state of California, it's legal. In the state of California, it's legal. And so come April 13th, go back to the library. The library continues the harassment. I want to make this people aware of this video that it skips pictures, not because I have damaged or altered it, but the storage department could not store all the video required. So I want to go ahead and start this video and let people go ahead and see that. So let's get this video started. It is May 13th, 2024. Third time going to the library. We're going to see if that librarian's here today or if they switched him out again. I mean, I might as well record all my interactions. Hey, how's it going?
Pretty well.
That's good. What's you guys are open to 8 today? Okay, that's wonderful. I'm only gonna be here for a short while.
Okay. Sounds good.
Excuse me, on your right? Oh, your right, my left. Oh. Excuse me. Can I get a temporary pass, please?
Sure.
So they
You
dismissed.
have your library card?
No, I left my wallet at the house. I had to rush out because I didn't realize it was 2:44, and I have some things I gotta do. I'm trying to see if I can discharge Joe Biden from the military. So there's a section in the U.S. Constitution, Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1, and it talks about his obligations as a military officer. And so he's basically the only 5-star general that can actually hold a position of public office. That's a civilian. And so I'm seeing that if we can discharge him on the fact that he is obviously incompetent. But I'm doing some interesting things. I gotta get these DD 214 forms and DD 293 forms done. It's going to be interesting to see if Joe Biden, if that can actually work on the president or not. Because, I mean, he is the commander-in-chief, which is pretty interesting. Well, thank you.
Welcome.
Yep. And I told you you would end up losing that case.
Take a look. No.
7.
No, Link Plus never does.
Oh man. Then type. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 8, 2. 7, 5, 6, 4, 0, 1, 6, 1, 5. And oh, that's all. It's the document's been printed out twice because I didn't remember if it came up or not because I clicked it so fast.
So you need this.
I need those documents twice. If I printed the same document twice, I need that document 2 times. I might have just misclicked and double clicked and double printed.
You're expecting 6 or you're expecting
6 total.
12?
6 total.
Cool.
Please.
Printed.
And about our incident, I told you that wouldn't work and that the judge would have ruled against it because it was of public interest. I'm sorry that we had such a bad disagreement, but I tried to explain it to you and about this, about my public rights and my privileges, and so I'm in the process of going through litigation as well. You're served here shortly. You and all your constituents who were involved in the lawsuit. We're going to be involved as a party to this suit. I did not like or approve of your behavior. I thought it was very intolerable, and I felt very badly mistreated. I did not feel like you treated me well, and that you were very disrespectful to my disabilities. And you stated, you can laugh all you want about this, but treating somebody who is disabled and then lying about it via email and then saying this on your post that you knew, on your pleading that you knew I was disabled and refusing to aid me is wrong. And I just wanted to make that very clear to you, that I did not appreciate the treatment that you gave me, and I never treated you badly. I simply stated something that I didn't like and that I disapproved of, and it was protected. And I wanted to let you know that, and I wanted to let you know how I personally felt without being rude or disrespectful, that I did not appreciate that behavior. And I'm going to go take my copies.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Thank you for expressing how you feel.
Yes, sir. I'm working on a thing on commercial expressive speech, because you know that the speech is limited with people who are in work, but you can't say certain things. So I'm making the information more known, and I was wondering if I wanted to make that information known to like the public, and put out like flyers so people could say, hey, if I'm in work and I have the right to commercial speech, this would be like for workers' rights. I'm working on a bunch of workers' rights stuff, and I'm asking permission if I can put flyers in the library regarding commercial speech and in rights regarding people being injured and workplace falls and all this type of stuff. I wanted to ask permission if I could put flyers in the library.
Well, you're definitely welcome to submit documents for approval.
That would be Allison.
It'll either be to me or then to Allison, yeah.
Okay, I'll send them to you so you can review them since you're the local librarian here.
That's true, but I do have to then.
I do understand.
Then passing anything along to my supervisor too.
I do understand that, and I understand that, and I'm more than willing to do that. I don't mind it going through 2 levels. That way you could get 2 sets of eyes, and that way we have two pairs of eyes on it, and so we can hopefully get it. I can hopefully get it approved to teach people, hey, if you're a worker, you have rights. They can't just fire you. They can't just take your employment for no reason. And I'll get that information to you when I get home later. I'll just email it to you because I still have your email.
Do you have to give you one,
I still have it. Once it's in your database, once you send a letter once, email once, it's in your database forever. I've even seen it come up, like you type in and others' names will come up of people. Like, who the hell is this? I don't have them in my database. But yeah, I'll send that to you. I gotta go try to see if I can knock Joe Biden out of the race. Wouldn't that be something?
Sounds like a plan.
Do you have a pen that I may borrow, please?
Sure.
Thank you so much. Oh, and can I borrow some whiteout?
I don't know.
I actually wrote on a part of the page I wasn't supposed to write on, so I'm gonna try to white out and see if they'll accept it that way. The military is very, very strict with their documentation. We'll just see how that goes. Whoops. Oh man. Come on, there we go. Come on, baby, come on. Stupid whiteout. Oops. There we go. I want to give you your whiteout and copy back. Oh, I apologize. I still need it for the other form that I wrote on the. God, there we go. Oops. Come on. Okay, so these are done. Evidence. Additional money.
There, you would have known that.
I thought you said there wasn't a case.
That's not what I said. I said there was not a judge present.
There was not a judge present. Okay, and this case was dismissed, right?
Were you there?
I was told it was dismissed.
But you weren't present.
No, I wasn't.
Why?
So they dismissed it because it was a First Amendment protected activity.
You did not.
Then why did they dismiss it? Explain, please.
I don't know if I'm actually allowed to someone who wasn't there.
You're not going to explain it to the party in which you made an accusation against?
I believe an accusation was made by Contra Costa County, not myself.
Your name was your name not, or was it or was it not in the complaint?
I don't remember submitting a complaint.
You don't remember submitting documents?
Oh, I submitted documents.
So you submitted documents to a court.
Yeah.
So that means you filed a case, correct?
I haven't said that I didn't file a case.
I mean, we can always go back to you being recorded, so we can always go back to what you said, and I can show you what you said.
Yeah. That's what I
And the case was dismissed because it was a First Amendment. There was an anti-SLAPP filed. There was, because I filed it. I can bring the documents and show you the records if you want, and we can go over that, and I can show you this on video too.
That'd be great.
That's fine. I mean, we can do that. I mean, this will be all used in disposition of my civil matter, and I'll show that not only have you been dishonest, but now we won't tell me that it's been dismissed. You won't even admit that it's been dismissed when you know it's been dismissed. I have the record from the dismissal that I can bring you. I'll bring it on Wednesday, and I'll show you all the documentation of your case being dismissed, and the fact that you lied and tried to silence me. And I'm not going to not curse if I feel that it's expressing myself. There's a difference between cursing at somebody, if I was to say F you, versus saying it in general. There's a difference between that.
Chance you would video yourself cussing me out, you think that would be wrong?
That would be wrong, but it's also protected. Now, depending on what I say. Now, if I'm using fighting words, like if I use words that are fighting words, I can't use those. I can't say, I'm going to physically cause you harm. I can't do that. That's not protected. But I could say, fuck you, I don't like you as a public employee. And it's a First Amendment protected activity. We've already been through this. We're already going through the court proceedings for this. It's a First Amendment protected activity. I am explaining to you how the First Amendment protection works regarding free speech. You cannot silence me.
You haven't actually explained, one, anything, and two, this is the third time that I've had to ask you to stop cursing.
I can explain it to you. The First Amendment protects what? The right to free speech, expressive speech, the right to cursing. I can even disapprove of your flag there, and that is protected speech. I can say, I disapprove.
The American
No, this flag right here, the gay and lesbian and transgender flag. I'm using this as an example. There's a case where the gay Irish and lesbians in Boston tried to sue, and they said that it was a hate crime to discriminate against it, and the party said that the individual has a right to freedom of expression and cannot be compelled to speak a way that the government wants. Now, you are a government official. Is that not correct?
I am an employee of the government.
So you, right now,
as an employee of the government, I've asked you to not curse in the lab.
and as a citizen of the United States and the state of California, I am going to have to respectfully decline and tell you that it is, again, First Amendment protected. And you cannot censor me and tell me to not curse in the library. And you can go ahead and file another suspension, but another lawsuit's going to come in place for another violation. You're trying to take up all my time with this frivolous litigation that you and your employees are filing because you don't like the way that I'm talking. Just like when the officers told me you tripped the alarm wire so you could have deputies get here.
For the sake of reference, can you please film this document?
This document, patron conduct policy.
This is the Contra Costa County Patron Conduct Policy.
I'm going to back up here from you so I'm not in your personal space. You got the mask on. You're feeling all COVID-y. I don't want to get sick.
So there are a variety of activities that are not permitted in the library. On that is included profane speech. You have done this multiple times today, despite being asked not to. There is also a strong pervasive odor about you, which is also on here. I figured that I wasn't going to address that. Please leave the library.
No, I'm not going to. I'm going to respectfully decline. Again, we've had this issue before. You do understand that I am disabled. You do understand that I have a disability, that I use marijuana for my disability. You cannot discriminate. What you're doing is retaliatory. Second, your policy does not override a constitutional right, which includes my right to curse. Cohen versus California and New Hampshire versus Chapelinski. I am not going to leave because you asked me to leave. I did not violate your policy because your policy, no, we dealt with this before in the court proceeding.
But you have violated the policy again today.
And the judge has already ruled in my favor. So if
Again, there was not a judge present. There was a commissioner.
that's fine, the commissioner. And the commissioner did what? He ruled in my favor, didn't he? Dismissed the case.
And again, I don't know if I'm allowed to discuss that. So that's why
That's not my problem. That's not my problem. The case was dismissed. I know it was dismissed.
The dismissal of the case is correct. Regardless, you have violated policy today.
I'm not
Please
going.
leave.
No, I'm not. You can go ahead and throw a tantrum, but the cops are going to tell you the same thing. He has a right to be here.
I don't think they will, and I don't want to call them.
Go ahead, call the cops. I can call Deputy Wayne too, and I'll let him know too that you're throwing another tantrum. Let the judge, the commissioner know too that again, you continue to breach, violate policy. I'll file a contempt charge on you. If you want to play those games, we can file contempt still because the judgment hasn't been all the way through. So I can continue to file contempt charges if you continue to violate my rights and privileges. I have the right to freely express myself, sir. I was expressing myself and explaining things to you. I have it all on video recording. I'm sure the cops would be more than glad to review the film. I'm sure they'll be glad to show, hey, he was more than calm and relaxed with you. He wasn't cursing and yelling at you. I'm sure the cop will agree with me that I was explaining to you the difference between the First Amendment protected activity and activity that is not protected, such as fighting words, such as things like I'm going to attack somebody or hate crime, like, we should hate this specific group. Those are not protected. But I have explained this to you on numerous occasions in emails. Apparently, it hasn't got through to your head because the judge has told you this as well, that your case was frivolous and vexatious. And so, therefore, no, I'm not going to abide by the Cushing policy. I will respect people that come into the library, yes, but if I'm expressing myself...
is still present.
And
there are many violations of policy occurring.
And that's fine. That policy, no, I'm not, sir. You can go ahead and call the police or department, but they're going to tell you the same thing, sir, that you are violating his First Amendment and there's nothing we can do. Marijuana is completely 100% legal in the state of California. You cannot ask me to leave because I smell pervasive. Plus, I already told you.
Literally is one of the reasons.
I told you, literally, I have a disability. I have an injury to my knee and to my shoulder. I can show you the scar here on my shoulder. Yeah, I showed you the scar. I have a scar on my shoulder from surgery, which I use marijuana for injury. So you're not going to tell me, hey, he's disabled, he smells like pervasive odor, but you know exactly what I smell like. You know exactly what I smell like, and I'm not trying to be conflictive with you. What I'm doing is simply explaining to you that you were wrong, and you continue to treat me wrong, and the reason why you complained and you filed that lawsuit is because you got a notice on the 29th that you were going to be sued. You got a notice that you were going to be sued, and if you continue this behavior, you're going to be sued again. You're going to continue to be in court.
You're welcome to sue.
That's fine. You lose your immunity. You understand that, right? You have now violated the First Amendment, and I'm not going to leave. I have paperwork I need to do here. I have things I have in business that I am conducting here at the library. I'm sure the film will show your behavior, and I'm sure if I call the courts too, I'm sure they'll pick up, and I'm sure they'll gladly tell me your case was dismissed, and I'm sure the cops will hear that too. Leave me alone and stop harassing me, sir.
There's no harassment.
You are harassing me. I am disabled, sir. I am disabled, sir. No, sir. I have not done anything wrong. Why do you keep harassing me? I am not trying to engage you. I am not trying to be combative with you. I simply was expressing myself, and I explained to you that I have OCD and Tourette's. It's an involuntary impulse. I can't control it. Are you discriminating against me, sir? I guess that is a yes. Apparently, he's calling the police department to have them to ask me to leave. This is why you're not going to be working here very much longer, because we don't want employees like you that mistreat people like me, that's disabled and honest, because you're a dishonest person. Your buddy there who sits there and lets you do that and doesn't check you and say, hey, you can't do that, Mark. We lost our case. You know better than that.
Hello, Chad. This is Mark at the Crockett Public Library. I was hoping that you might be able to then give us some assistance. I believe I have a person who you've worked with before, Elijah Dominguez here, and I was told to reach out to you in case there was a situation that I was hoping that we could resolve peaceably. If you're not available, I hope you'll be able to give us a call back soon, but I'll try to generally agree on. Thank you.
And who is this Chad?
They're a person with A3, our county's emergency mental health responder.
I don't have mental health, sir.
That runs contradictory.
So, I mean, I do have mental health, but I don't need mental health treatment. I'm not having a mental health. Why are you wasting? I have mental health, but you're wasting resources because you're upset because I'm cursing in the library. Like I said, I can say fuck, bitch, cunt, slut, whore, dumb fucking bastard. I can curse as well. This is a public facility. There is nobody in here. And I can show there's only you and me in here. Just in case you want to lie and make false affidavits again.
There are no false affidavits.
You did make false affidavits. I have the documents you and Tiffany, your jury, served on me. And she was terminated. Her career was terminated after I spoke to her boss. And you know that.
I know none of this.
You lie is what you are. You're an untruthful person and dishonest, sir. I have been nothing but kind and respectful, except when you feel like I'm cursing. Look, there's nobody in this library. It is completely empty. So, you're the only person that's offended by this. She is not offended by this. Ma'am, are you offended by this? No, you're not offended? I'll take your silence as agreement that you're not offended by this. I've done nothing wrong, sir, and you just keep harassing me and discriminating against the disabled. Why do you keep harassing disabled people? All I wanted to do was come in here peacefully, do my paperwork, file my lawsuit against you, which you know is coming, because you got notice of intent. I'm going to continue to do my paperwork here, sir, and not be distracted by you. But apparently, 010, currently serving, yes. Our date of separation, November.
Hello. Hello. Hi, this is Mark Bockefer with the Crockett Public Library. I was told to reach out, ideally specifically to Chad Pierce, who I know believes Elijah Dominguez is individually worked with before. Okay. I left a message on his cell because I've had the individual who I know he's worked with before, Elijah Dominguez here at the library, and I've asked him very politely to leave for the day, and he has refused.
You're asking mental health people to assist you in helping me leave the library? That's not going to work. They have no authority to help me.
Yes. Oh, I did do that. But I'm hoping that then potentially, I don't know if there's an individual that might be able to talk to him afterwards, because my goal is to then, I'm trying to make sure that I respond in the best way possible. This is Crockett. We're over at 991 Warren Avenue. Okay. actually have you look that up? The patron in question is currently videotaping me, and if this goes up on the internet, I mean, I suppose it's there anyway.
It's public. It's a public place.
510-787-2345.
Don't say things in public that you don't want issued in public. You don't have no. You have no right to privacy in public. What you're doing is being manipulative.
I totally do. This patron is Elijah Dominguez. He was told to talk to Chad. ELIJAHDOMINGUEZ, right?
I'm not helping you. I'm not giving you information. Do you know that's illegal to use library? You know it's illegal for you to look up information on patrons and make reports using our personal information? That's illegal. What you have done is actually a crime. You are now committing a crime, sir. I mean, you've been committing hate crimes towards people.
Oh, sorry, I'm told that I'm committing crimes.
You are, sir. It is illegal for you to use the public library system to look up information, personal information on citizens.
Correct. Yeah, I just used a Google search. I found this on the internet where anyone can find it. GUES.
It's still illegal for you to do that during public hours, to use Google searches to do that at your leisure.
No worries. It's alright.
I demand to know who you called and the reason why you're calling them. You are giving people my personal information that I do not know. I do not feel comfortable with you giving information to people I do not know or have a prior relationship with.
Alright, bye. Thanks so much.
Who's this Chad and who did you just talk to?
I spoke to A3.
Who's
It's the group
A3?
that hopefully is a step below them calling for the police to ask you.
They aren't going to be able to help you because mental health has no obligation to help you leave or make me leave the library. So you might as well have gone ahead and called the police, because what you have done is just commit a crime by giving personal information to people that I did not authorize you to give information to. And you are giving this to people that I have no clue who they are. I do not know who A3 is. A3 is an entity. You've never named a specific person. You named Chad. I don't know who Chad is.
Yeah, they're our contact at A3.
And I don't have no relationship with A3. No, thank you.
This is a copy of the patron conduct policy.
I have
It'll explain why
multiple-
you're being asked to leave.
I have multiple conduct policies, but I'll take another one.
Thank you.
And I'll take another one and show people that, again, this is what he does. He violates patron policy conduct by doing whatever he wants. And then he makes the rules up the way he wants to make them up, not how they should be. And this information is going to go up publicly anyway. And I don't care if you have you use sensitive information in a public area, and you knew you were being recorded. So that's not my fault. And you're giving people my private information. So my name is my private property. I have the right to my name, my property, and my privacy. And what you did was just a massive breach of privacy and trust between librarian and librarian patron. That is wrong. Why are you treating me like this? Why are you acting like a tyrant and said that the case was invalid on its face and that the case was dismissed?
I don't know what the grounds for dismissal were, and I don't know if I'm allowed to discuss them, which is why I have not been discussed them further.
I do, but what is the reasonable articulate suspicion I do understand that. You don't you know who I am though. I don't have to identify myself if you know who I am. You know I'm cool.
What time did you get out, or when did you get out?
I got out a while ago. I've been out for a couple of months.
Okay.
I got a job now. I work for I own my small business. I own the people of the state of California, and I got trademarked on it. So I got my own trademarks. I'm doing really well for myself. My daughter's doing good. I just picked up an ice cream machine for her.
Nice.
She's so spoiled. She got it in her room. I'm like, really? She got making all the ice cream. I'm like, you better share. She's like, no, it's mine. Little 7-year-old kid, you
One
know.
of the ones that turns it for you?
Yeah, no, you. Yeah, it's the old school ones, the ones you have to do with the hand. But it's really cool. I got the old school popcorn machine too.
Oh, very nice.
So it's like she can pop home. She's never gonna leave her room. I'm never gonna get her to leave her room
All the
between
popcorn and ice cream.
the ice cream, popcorn, and video games.
Yeah. Are you still staying up here with your pops?
Yeah, still staying up there with my pops. I'm getting ready to move. Hopefully, yeah.
Where are you going?
Hopefully, Vacaville.
Nice.
It's cheaper out there, and it's only 20 minutes away from here. I can literally, so if you hop on, I looked how much it was to Amtrak. I'm like, dude, it's like $20 to get to here from Martinez to San Francisco, to Sacramento.
Mm.
So I'm like, I could do that all day because I go into the governor's office and here's a law that I want to pass regarding lawful order. Like I'm trying to define lawful order.
Gotcha.
Because, I mean, you could say it's a lawful order, but we don't clearly define it. So it's in the officer's perspective, but we need to clarify it so everybody has a clear perspective of what it is.
Okay.
And I'm actually in the process of doing what is called a Rule 5.1 constitutional challenge. And the 5.1 constitutional challenge is basically I'm challenging the rule of law. And I'm challenging the office, let's say the officer's law is invalid. Like, let's say you guys had immunity, right? But you guys have to be bonded, right? Which means you don't have absolute immunity if you have a bond for a license where you can be sued for that bond. It completely defeats the purpose of absolute immunity or qualified immunity. So I'm challenging these types of things. These are very interesting perspectives that's never been taken on before court. Check this out, though. I'm trying to take out Sleepy Joe, and I thought about Article 2, Section 1. Check that out. So the president is the commander-in-chief. Now, I have a DD 214 here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to see if I can discharge him as a military officer and get around the 25 impeachment process by going and doing the process for removing him from public office as a general. You have to think about it. The president is a public official. Mm-hmm. He's in office. He gets elected and holds control of military, but he's the only civilian to hold control of the military. But that makes him the only 5-star general available. Harris would be 4 stars, and so on and so forth on down the system. But I want to see if I can get him out of office using that.
Using the Article Section 2, Chapter 1.111?
Yeah, or it's so it's basically Section 2, Clause 2, Section 1. And so that section right there is basically shows that he's a militant. He's an officer of the military. He's the general.
You came here to read more about it?
Yeah, I came here to read more about it and do business. I basically was here to do and conduct business and hopefully return some books. And but this man has been mistreating me pretty poorly. I have disability. You obviously know I have a habit of protecting myself from people cause me harm, and this resulted in injury to my knee. Now, I use medication, and it causes a pervasive odor because I don't like pharmaceutical medications. I think they're horrible, bad for you, and they'll kill you. No one ever gets to explain a little bit about what happened because you can see the video got cut off there. The officers later tell me I have to leave and that if I don't, I'm going to get in a trespass order and I'm going to be arrested. I explained to them, okay, I guess I'm going to have to leave then. Is that what he wants? They told him he had to decide, even though the courts have already decided through the dismissal of the same thing that he is telling me that I have to leave for. The same thing that happened, that just got dismissed, happened again. And he kicked me out of the library again. I explained to him that I'm disabled. I have Tourette's. It's an involuntary impulse. I cannot control it. I tried. You can even see in the video, I'm explaining to him that I have this involuntary impulse and I can't control it. That I am disabled. And he still discriminates against me, even though there's nobody in the library but us. Now, later that day, I ended up getting a phone call from the officer. The officer told me that this judgment, even though it was dismissed, even though this case was dismissed for lack of probable cause, that was not a court judgment. So let's actually take a look at the video and see what this officer is actually saying. Because that doesn't sound right to me, that a dismissal of the case for lack of probable cause is not evidence, or it's not a judgment, excuse me. There's clearly a judgment here in my hand in possession. And he clearly did not understand how judgments worked. So let's take a look at that video.
A phone call from us?
Yes, about the incident that occurred.
What's going on?
So I'd like to press charges for a hate crime against the individual Mark Batcherford.
Against who?
Mark Batcherford.
Who is that?
That's the librarian you talked to.
Okay, what's the hate crime?
The hate crime is discrimination against the disabled for uses of a public facility.
That's not discrimination. If there's issues with policies, he's not discriminating against you for the policy violation.
So there was a case before this court and before the Contra Costa County Court, and this case was regarding this same exact thing that they called you for on April 30th before Anna Young, and the judge ruled in my favor in Department 50 and said that the case was dismissed because it lacked merit for First Amendment protected activities where I grieved against them for being disabled and not being able to easily access the door. The individual lost that suit on April 30th. The case was dismissed, and he even told you that case was dismissed. And then you proceeded as an officer to enforce a policy that was unconstitutional, that the courts already ruled on unconstitutional. And like I said, I want to press hate crimes because the courts already ruled in my favor about this disability already. And now you're telling me that you're not going to enforce the person discriminating against me, who has clearly discriminated against me, where there's court cases.
That case was dismissed. It wasn't ruled in your favor. It was dismissed for lack of evidence.
Which is basically equivalent enough to say that.
That's not the same.
So
that's not a ruling in your favor. That's the case dismissal.
So a case dismissal.
Winner or loser.
So a dismissal is not a ruling in my favor?
Correct. A dismissal is based on not enough evidence. If there wasn't enough evidence to proceed with the case, then the case will not go forward in the system. So it's basically dropped. That's not a ruling. That's a dismissal.
Yes, and the ruling was to dismiss the case, correct?
No, so the ruling is either guilty or not guilty. If a case is dismissed based on lack of evidence, you can't even go forward to the part of guilty or not guilty.
So there was lack of evidence for my cursing in the library, for the behavior that they said before, and they're doing it again. And you're telling me that this isn't harassment when the case was dismissed already for the same things they just called about?
No, it's based on everyone being accountable for the same actions. It's not harassment. If they were singling you out for such an incident, then yeah, it would be harassment. That's not harassment. If they hold everyone to the same standard, that's not harassment.
Did you?
They didn't trespass you from the property. They're allowing you to continue to come onto the property.
Yes, but you did give him. Sorry to cut you off, but you did give him the decision whether or not to make me leave based on the language that I was using, correct?
Basically, I gave them an option to let you leave on your own free will versus trespassing, so you were able to come back to the property.
And I just had a question. What was the name of that form again for trespassing?
It's called a 602 form. It's a trespass form.
Oh, okay.
That means you can't ever go back to the property ever again.
Okay, and that wasn't given to me.
Correct.
Okay.
Which means you're allowed to go back to the property.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Goodbye. What you just saw there was two incidents. One, the first one being the April 30th, which was the lawsuit that they filed on the original complaint and lawsuit. I'll do a video on that, but you can see here it was dismissed. This case was considered dismissed, and the cop would not enforce the judgment that was dismissed for violation of these same things that he is accusing me of again on May 13th. He did this because he hates people who are disabled and people who complain against him that are disabled and are being treated unequally. And it showed on video. It showed that he did not care. He thought it was a joke when I was explaining to him how I felt. He did not care nor have no understanding. And then he continued to harass me. This type of behavior will never be tolerated against any person, race, or class. And the fact is that the librarian continues to harass me, bother me, and treat me like lesser than a human being. This man is continuously harassing and bullying me, and this man needs to be removed from his position as librarian and fired. I will also be filing another lawsuit against him for this incident that occurred in retaliation for beating this complaint. So if you're watching this, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And also share your support with me and support me in this time of people and continuous harassment by this county. Now, I'm not saying I'm a perfect individual, but this time I did nothing wrong other than file a complaint and say that I've been treated unfairly and that you were wrong, and the courts proved that treatment was wrong. And you can see cops supporting the library's opinion of policy and unlawful policy and ignoring court orders to cease that behavior. And this is not okay, and it goes on quite often in this county. So like, share, subscribe, and comment with everybody you know. Share this with everybody. And spread the word about this, because this is not okay that he is retaliating, and he thinks that because nobody supports me that he can get away with whatever he wants to get away with. And it's up to us to stand up and say, no, behavior is not going to be tolerated against anybody, especially a person who is disabled and has made sure that our country is protected, our rights are protected. And we need to make sure that my rights are protected. And I'm hoping that people will share that same love that I've shared unconditionally with everybody. I know I'm not entitled to it, and the world won't openly do that. But I do understand that people don't like bullies, and that bullies will never be tolerated. And what this is he's bullying me because of my disability and using his position to establish a dominant position that he is the victim when it's the other way around and he is the dominant aggressor. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment, and share this with everyone. Thank you for watching.